Hello everyone, and welcome to the first official video of Exemplar Garage. So today we're going to answer the question, do you really need all-wheel drive to drive in winter conditions, or does front-wheel drive perform well enough? To test this, we'll put the car we're using for this video, a 2020 Chevy Equinox LT all-wheel drive, through a series of tests in both its front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive modes. The fact that this car is able to switch between the two drive modes ensures the comparison is as accurate as possible, since all factors besides whether the car is in front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive mode remain the same between tests. This Equinox is equipped with 4 Bridgestone Ecopia all-season tires, and traction and stability control are enabled for all tests. Before we start though, it's important that you understand that all conclusions made in this video are constructed from observations made from driving on specific roads in specific conditions, and do not account for the performance of front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive vehicles in all conditions. Drive in winter conditions at your own risk and with proper tires. So without further ado, the first test, driving on icy and snowy town roads. Front-wheel drive performed well here with only negligible wheel spin and traction loss when accelerating from a stop in some places, and the traction loss wasn't really even that noticeable, as traction control almost never had to engage. All-wheel drive performed nearly the same here, and I could barely feel a difference besides the fact that there is no longer minor wheel slippage when accelerating from a standstill in certain areas. Had I not known if all-wheel drive was enabled, it would have been very hard for me to tell. The second test is driving on snowy and icy back roads. In this test, for the most part, front-wheel drive performed as well as all-wheel drive, except for what you'll see here. Turning onto the road, traction was lost in quite a noticeable way. The car slightly understeered, yet quickly snapped back into traction once parallel to the road. While traction control did engage, the loss of traction didn't compromise safety in this situation. Also, I noticed that in general, when accelerating in a front-wheel drive vehicle in slippery conditions, due to the reduced traction as well as torque steer, slight steering corrections will need to be made in order to keep the vehicle going where you want it to go. In all-wheel drive mode though, the car never lost traction here and confidently took the curve. Once at speed, as expected, the difference between front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive is imperceptible. The same goes for most mountain roads and highways. Despite providing a less confident feel when accelerating in certain scenarios, front-wheel drive vehicles should still be quite acceptable for traversing the majority of winter roads provided you have the right tires. In my experiences, front-wheel drive cars have nearly always provided ample traction for driving on winter roads such as these. You have to remember, just because a car has all-wheel drive does not mean it handles better or stops quicker than a front-wheel drive car. All-wheel drive simply helps to increase a vehicle's acceleration and forward traction, and for these types of roads, the forward traction front-wheel drive can provide is usually enough, but this leads us exactly to the next test. In deep snow, with the massive amount of resistance created by the rear tires being dragged in the snow, front-wheel drive vehicles are quite prone to becoming stuck. As soon as all-wheel drive mode is enabled though, the vehicle has no problem pulling itself out of the deep snow. The last test is a raw traction test on packed snow. As with every test, traction control is enabled. In front-wheel drive mode, in exactly 4 seconds, the vehicle is able to reach a maximum speed of 10 miles per hour or 16 kilometers per hour. In all-wheel drive mode, in 4 seconds, the vehicle is able to reach a much higher speed of 23 miles per hour or 37 kilometers per hour. So, each test has shown that all-wheel drive provides more traction when accelerating than front-wheel drive does, but you may not need all that traction. So do you really need all-wheel drive for driving in winter conditions? The surprising answer is that you most likely won't. Well, if you plan to or don't know if you will drive off-road through deep snow, or drive up quite steep inclines, like not just mountain roads, but steep snow or ice-covered inclines, then all-wheel drive is a must. But, like most, if you're simply planning to drive on roads such as those shown towards the beginning of the video, a front-wheel drive vehicle is likely to serve you quite well. In these scenarios, it's the type of tires your vehicle is equipped with that determine its grip and ability to drive on roads in the winter. From my observations traveling many miles through icy towns, on snowy back roads, and up and down a variety of mountain roads in different front-wheel drive cars, I've realized just how capable they are. I really can't stress enough, though, the importance of fitting the proper tires on your vehicle. Even in an all-wheel drive vehicle, summer tires or tires with worn treads can cause the vehicle to lose traction quite easily. Thanks for staying till the end. Make sure to like this video if it helped, and subscribe for more insightful and entertaining automotive content. Also, don't forget to check out my technology channel, Exemplar Studios. See you all in the next video.